but never mind. I'm just going to quickly turn on Insta and then we will get started. Always so awkward, these lives. Here we go. You are now live. Let me zoom in. Hello, everybody. Insta, I'm just zooming into my sketch. Here we go. So I am working on this reference material and I really love it because it's so structural. I know you guys, if you're familiar with my work, I mostly work with female figures, but there was just something about this I really liked, and I was particularly drawn to this, to the arm. And I want to replicate that, but I also love the angle of the face and everything, and it was just, yeah, very structurally appealing to me. So that's what I've started doing here, and I've got this lovely brown paper. It's not craft paper, toned tan it's called, and yeah, it's just a really nice neutral base because we are working with, we're working with a portrait. Even though my reference material is black and white, it's just really nice to start with a neutral base rather than a white sheet of paper. Not that that's a hard and fast rule, but yeah, it's just really nice because we can use really dark tones, and I've got lovely charcoal, and yeah, and then we can add the highlights. So I've got white charcoal as well here somewhere, which I was using yesterday. I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so yeah, we've got this mid-tone, and then we can, work with our light and dark shadows with our charcoal. So yeah, I've already done, I guess, a basic sketch just to map everything out. And I'm not expecting this to be a masterpiece, more like a study. And yeah, because I'm a bit, I guess, what's the word? When you haven't done something for a long time, a bit rusty, a bit rusty with my charcoal. So yeah, it's a good way for me to skill up and yeah, let's get started. So I've done the basic pencil sketch, and I just really want to go over it with charcoal. So this guy's got like a bit of messy beach hair. So the key to drawing or painting from life, or even from a photo reference in this case, which is what we've got to work with, is to be really detached. So you've got to think about drawing what you see in front of you, not what you think you see. Because at times, we've already formed a perception of what we think a human body should look like, what a face should look like. So it's really important to let go of all of that. And that is the best way to learn the discipline of accuracy. And yeah, I really appreciate this reference because just a lot of angles going on. And when I studied life drawing, for example, which is, the study of figures, it's to really approach a figure from a structural perspective and to draw from the inside out. So that's what I try to do. I deconstruct what I see and I try to achieve, what angles am I working here? What shadows? What shapes? Where is the light source coming from? In this case, it's pretty much coming from here. Like, if that makes any sense. You can see where the highlights are. So yeah, and you know what? I'm going to turn on some music because it's a bit lonely. And I'll turn it down a bit. Oh, Spotify can't play right now. Oh, boo. Fine, whatever. You just have to listen to the scratchy noises of my charcoal sketching. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, not expecting it to be a masterpiece. What I love about charcoal and pencil drawing is you can do this. You can smudge it a little bit. And that's what I'm going to do. So it's still very, very gestural at this stage. Do you know what gestural means? Well, it is exactly what it is. It's gestures. So scribbling and rough sketching. That is all it is. But it is absolutely essential to building a foundation. You know, this is the foundation of your drawing. But then it's really nice to see once you've built it up and seeing it come together in the detail. But it's just a big old mess to start with, and that's okay. I think we as artists are used to working with that mess. It's actually the most important part when you are building the foundation. It means making a lot of mistakes. And yeah, you have to be okay with that. So as you can see, I'm wearing a jacket. So I was just on the Zooms earlier and had to appear professional. I'm also wearing like proper work trousers because I thought I may as well look and feel the part. I think that's really important. But I will be back in my activewear / robe life shortly. But yeah, thanks again for joining me the next 20 minutes or so. Let's sketch away. I think doing studies is really, really important. Studies of the human body and the human face. It's like the foundation of everything. So this guy's wearing sunnies, but I'm not even going to worry about that. You know, it might look a bit creepy right now, but I'm just really shading where the eyes are. So yeah, this really takes me back to drawing and stuff at school and trying to teach myself how to draw. And the biggest lesson, if you are going to take one thing away from how to draw, is observation. Just be genuinely curious and observant of what's in front of you. Because if you are able to see what's in front of you, then you're able to translate it onto paper or canvas. And I like to be really disciplined when it comes to my portraits. I think it's important. And I'm sure there are other ways of drawing more efficiently, and I have a lot to learn. But I am very keen on learning, especially during this lockdown. It's a great opportunity to skill up and level up while you've got more hours at home. What is stopping you? Probably nothing getting in the way of learning something new right now. I mean, I'm baking, for example. Like, I'm not a baker at all. Also learning a lot about sales and marketing, my art. It's a constant learning curve. My favorite part of drawing is creating the contrasts of light and shadow. I Get a real kick out of that for some reason. Just in terms of composition, I've kind of, yeah, um, messed up a little bit because I wanted the arm to be a really strong focal point, but well, this is how I have placed I have placed it on the page. So it's not, but never mind. I might draw this again and just be a bit more mindful of my composition. Another thing I learned to during life drawing was to use your eraser as a drawing tool, not as an eraser. So it is very much your ally in building up a drawing, not just correcting and rubbing things out. So that's something I learned. Although I still use it to rub things out. So there's just so much going on structurally with this portrait and this figure, like where the neck is, very angular. And I like to put weight on where there's like kind of a foundation because the neck is used to hold up the head, right? So I feel like I want to put more weight on here and really establish that foundation with my technique, not just replicate the shadow that I see. What I was looking to get into was taking up life drawing again, using live models. And I had actually signed up to a drawing club. And of course, that was cancelled because of lockdown. But, hopefully we can do that again because it's such a valuable skill as an artist. I think I have overreached my shadow here, but never mind. The other reason why I started sketching this before the live was because I learned from you. I did a quick sketch from scratch, and as you can see, I'm drawing at an angle so that you guys can see. So this is all in favor of camera, but normally I would be like this. I would be really up close and personal with my drawing, and that would not favor the lives. So yeah, this isn't how I draw. This is just an opportunity for me to give you guys a glimpse into my process. So I can show you a part of it each day. Yeah, the great thing about the human bodies is there's so much going on structurally, like the shoulder blade, the collarbones, and yeah, I guess the skeleton underneath the muscle, and then it's that dynamic energy that you can't see, it's that human spirit, emotion, and expression. You really see it when you draw from life. You really connect with that. I mean, look, I love to draw and paint from photos, but there's just something really, really special about going from life. It's also more challenging because you can't take your sweet time, you're constrained by that model and the time you have together. So you kind of have to get things done as efficiently as possible, but then there's just so much more life to your artwork. That's something I want to do. I want to do portrait sittings and, you know, have models, people model for me. I've had people model for me in the past and they had a hard time. You have to stay in one posture for a while. It's quite challenging. Now see how my hand is all dirty. Yeah, I know you can buy stuff that you can cover your hand with, or you could put like paper, tracing paper over spots that you don't want to smudge while you draw. But I'm just gonna miss you. And this is a really interesting part. The knuckles and the hands. Hands are such an interesting structure. That's why I really, really liked this picture. I just love this part. It's like the angle that we look at it from. It's foreshortened, you know, and it's actually really challenging to replicate that because when a figure is foreshortened, it's really tempting to draw what you think you see, not what you have in front of you. You have to be really in tune with what's in front of you. If that makes any sense. If I'm making any sense at all. Once upon a time, I wanted to be in animation, and I really learned how crucial it was to be skilled in life drawing as an animator because you are working with movement and you have to be an expert at the rules before you break them. And all movement in animation is based on natural human movement. So you have to be a very keen observer of human movement and even basic things like walking and moving your arms and things like that. It's actually, a, there's physics behind it. It's very, very technical. All these Disney animators, I guarantee you, they are absolute pros at drawings, especially drawing from life. And they invest in fine arts courses where they go to traditional classes observing and sketching live models. That is how they get mastery. And I have a lot of respect for people who do that. It's not about the magical characters, it's the foundation behind the skill of creating those magical characters on cartoons. There's a lot of bone structure going on, bone and muscle structure going on in this arm. And yeah, I'm not able to capture it because of how I have blocked down this drawing, but never mind. Maybe do another attempt next time. It just feels so unfinished, and that was my main feature. There's just a lot of shadow going on here. So capture that energy. I reckon Facebook has gotten onto my use of Spotify, so that's why it refuses to let me play. Never mind. This is another example of drawing what you see and what you know. If I rely on what I know, this jawline will end up really flat. And I'm actually having an internal battle right now. I'm like, why? Why is it like this? Oh, you've got to trust. Just trust and see what's in front of you. Who else has been on a binge mode? I've just watched the whole Loki series in Disney Plus. I watched Black Widow last night. So yeah, I've been in a bit of a binge mode. Not very productive, but fun. I'm not usually one to consume series, but I really, really liked it. Really appreciated the fact that I had the time to do that. I've also been enjoying content about artists and art collectors and learning about the art world on YouTube. And it's very, very inspiring to discover new artists and look at people's homes and their art collections. That's another thing I want to do when we get out of this lockdown. I actually want to visit people's homes and look at their amazing art collections. I think that would be really, really cool. You know what I really want to tackle is I want to tackle the nose and the lip area and the jaw area, but I'm going to have to get up close and personal with my drawing. I don't want to do it at this angle. So I'll just work on what I can here and then continue working with my nose right up to my picture. But can you see how everything is starting to come together? Even though it's a big old mess. And tidy it up later. All right, guys, that's all I have got. These lives are going to get shorter and shorter because I want to hold your attention. And yesterday, when I did my impromptu live, it was only about 12 minutes. Yeah, and I want to keep it that way, between 15 to 20 minutes. So my absolute maximum is 25 minutes. That is pretty much the format of a TV show. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that was helpful and fun for you to watch. This is the current result, but like I said, I'm going to work on it a bit more and really get up close and personal to my drawing and work on the detail, structural detail, because that is the best way for me to draw. So thank you so much for joining me again, guys, and have a great day. It's beautiful out there. Enjoy the weather while we can, or we're allowed to, go walking with your one friend and have fun. Goodbye, Facebook. Goodbye, YouTube. Yes, end.